It's a moment of gentle irony for me to be speaking at this August convention and reflecting that if I had tried to speak here 20 years ago, I might have had a very different reception than the one that I've been receiving today. But I want to thank all of you very sincerely. And I also know very well that this is a day of renewal for the provincial party, as we are also going through a period of renewal as a federal party. And I want to just say a few things to you today. I'm not going to speak for a long time. I know the focus is very much going to be on the candidates who are running to be the Premier and the leader of the Liberal Party of Ontario. But I do want to say a few things to everyone about the challenge that we face in this country. And the challenge that we face in this country can be summed up in 3 words: Harris and Harper and Hudak. The challenge that we face is to remind the people of Canada what the costs have been and what the costs will be of this party cocooned in an ideology of the right, which brought great damage to the province of Ontario, is causing great hardship to the people of Canada, and would bring even more were that party to be returned to office in the province of Ontario. So repeat after me: Harris and Harper and Hudak. Harris and Harper and Hudak are forces to be reckoned with, to be sure. But let us recognize the nature of the political challenge. Last night, we quite rightly celebrated the remarkable career of my good friend Dalton McGuinty. I had the opportunity of serving with his father and of serving with Dalton in the legislature. And I've watched the remarkable growth and development and the profound maturity of a political leader who has shown a remarkable combination of discipline and compassion. Discipline because there is a discipline of power. There is a discipline that forces you to make difficult decisions. We cannot afford the luxury of throwing away a legacy of a liberalism in this province and across this country, which has been based on the principle of fiscal discipline, of personal discipline, and a sense of personal responsibility. C'est le sens de la responsabilité personnelle qui est au fond des accomplissements historiques du Parti libéral du Canada et du Parti
Liberal Party of Canada and the Ontario Liberal Party. There are limits to what governments can do. There are limits to what can be spent and limits to taxation. There's limits to what we can borrow. Everybody knows that. They know that in Canadian households. They know that in personal tax systems. And we have to apply the very same principles as a government.
As well as that discipline, and as well as the profound economic achievements of this party, both federally and provincially, let us also remember the power of compassion and the power of vision, and what the power of compassion and vision have brought to the people of Ontario. Let us remember what it is that the Liberal Party of Ontario took on when it was elected, when it succeeded finally in defeating the Harris regime. You will remember the condition of our hospitals. You will remember the condition of our schools. You will remember a political party that destroyed all provincial investment in urban transportation, that cancelled 3 subway lines and didn't just cancel them, filled them up with cement. That's what we had in the Tory regime. There was so much renewal and so much rebuilding to do. There was so much that had to be done. And it was done by a government that invested more than ever before in education, that invested more than ever before in our hospitals and our health care, that set a new agenda for children, that set a new agenda for skills training, that has set a new agenda for partnership with the municipalities. This is a government that has shown huge discipline and huge compassion. It is a government that not only deserves to be re-elected, it is a government that must be re-elected for the benefit of the people of Ontario. And let us never forget that. And of course, my dear friends, as Liberals, we know full well the challenge that we face on the federal level. We face a political party whose Minister of Finance is well known to the people of this province, because he was part of the team that left Greg Sorbara with a $5.5 billion hole to fill. Even when the province was in growth, even when the province was in prosperity, they left us with a $5.5 billion deficit. And let us remember as well that it is Mr. Harper who has consistently tried to pretend that all of Canada belongs to him, that he's turning a 39% mandate into something which he believes gives him the right to transform all of Canada in one fell swoop. And so I say to you, we do not need Harper and Harris to be followed by Hudak. We do not need the kind of progress that we have made to be endangered by policies which put us all at risk. Finally, my friends, I want to say to all of you that it has been a great journey for me and for Arlene as we have gone across the country and certainly across Ontario, talking about the renewal of another great institution, the Liberal Party of Canada. I'm delighted that one of my predecessors as leader of the party, Mr. Turner, is here, former Prime Minister of Canada. And I'm very proud of the work that our caucus has done. And I think we've shown the same commitment to discipline as well as to compassion and justice. Let us not forget there is still much work to be done in this country. There is still a reconciliation that needs to happen between First Nations and Aboriginal Canadians and those of us who've come later to the country. We want to make sure that every child in this country goes to school hungry for knowledge and not hungry for food. We want to make sure that there is room in this country for the greatest innovation, for the greatest change, for the greatest commitment to entrepreneurship, for the greatest commitment to opportunity, for the greatest commitment to, yes, creating wealth for the benefit of the whole country. And this, above all, is a political party that is committed to every level of government working together to the great partnership and to the great dream that we call Canada. My friends, I know that yesterday was a great birthday. It was a birthday for our good friend, the President, Mr. Naqvi. But I can't resist reminding you all that it was also the birthday of that great poet and that great liberal and that great fighter for democracy. I'm referring, of course, for Robbie Burns. So perhaps you will permit me, as a ray of light, a ray of hope, a ray, to quote from one of Robbie Burns' greatest poems. And the last stanza is this: "Then let us pray that come it may, as come it will, for a' that sense and worth o'er a' the earth may bear the gree and a' that, for a' that and a' that, it's coming yet for a' that man to man the world o'er shall brothers be for a' that, and may I add, shall sisters be for a' that." Let us never forget the great values of fellowship, and the great values of friendship that we together as Liberals have brought to the political life of Canada. I am very proud to be standing here to wish well the candidates. I think along with Mr. Cervera and Murray Elston and a lot of other people, we know what it's like to go to a delegated convention. You never know what's going to happen. Sometimes the results are unexpected. But above all, I want to wish the very best to all of the candidates and the very best to the next Premier of Ontario. Thank you all very much. Merci beaucoup. Appreciate your help and support. Thank you.